as cliche as it sounds, the old age adage of surrounding yourself with people who are better than you is honestly, it's something that, in my experience, has been extremely important. It's no coincidence that whenever I find myself in the company of somebody who's better than me in a specific field, in this case the gym and lifting weights in general, I improve. And I improve fairly significantly, fairly quickly. Today, again, was a perfect example of that. I happened to be in the gym with the only person I'd really consider a friend in the gym. And again, as I've said many times before, I admire him a lot. Like, he's a really good lifter. He's fucking elite. He can move some serious weight, but it's not just about the weight. Form has to be respected. Now, I don't really give a fuck what weight you're moving if you're not moving it in a pleasing way, aesthetically, and most importantly, safely and efficiently, and in his case, powerfully, then like I don't really give a fuck what you're moving, to be quite frank. And in his case, yeah, he ticks all the boxes. And on top of that, he cares about the nuances. He cares about the little things, and he thinks about his training. He thinks about it a lot, which is a very undervalued element of training, if you ask me. In my opinion, you only get so much by going, putting work in, getting it done, and forgetting about it. Whilst it's enough, it is enough. Don't get it twisted. It's enough. And I don't believe everybody has to be out here hyper-analyzing their session and their movements and recording themselves and going through their movements with a fine-tooth comb and trying to really like connect and understand the moving parts of the human body and la la la. Whilst I don't believe that's necessary for everybody, it's so valuable and so rewarding to like have access to somebody like that. Somebody who's significantly better than me, is significantly more knowledgeable, and has spent significantly more time doing exactly what I'm doing, which is just training and thinking about your training. It's that simple. And I'm regularly amazed at just finite details that he in particular gives me with exercises that, interestingly, I feel like if I didn't have him, for example, I would eventually come to the conclusion myself. So using the example today of RDLs, my form improved dramatically from the first set to the last set. However, the biggest change was from like the, I want to say, third or fourth to last set. That was the most dramatic change because I got a gem from Tom. However, from my first set to prior to that, I improved my form because why? I was thinking about it, I was trying to figure it out. I was moving slightly differently each time to try and achieve what I wanted to achieve in that movement, so on and so forth. But just simply having somebody around you who's significantly better than you and surrounding yourself with people who are better than you in whatever field it is you desire to get better at. Oh, it's a cheat code. It's a cheat code because I wouldn't have got to where I got in that movement by the end of my session if he wasn't at the gym today. All right. It may have taken me, if I was extremely lucky, I may have figured it out next time I RDL'd, but I highly doubt it. It would have probably taken me a handful of RDL sessions. And would I have even continued doing RDLs because I would have been struggling to achieve what I wanted to achieve from them without that piece of information, maybe I would have just passed it off for a little while. I don't know. But now, all of a sudden, I've fallen in love with the RDL. Why? Because I was given a significantly valuable piece of information that significantly improved my lift, which was nice. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed connecting with that movement today, which I was extremely grateful for, because I was worried. I was concerned today. At the beginning of my session, I was very concerned that I couldn't focus and get warm and do a warm-up. Usually I like to do a dynamic warm-up, whether it's running, skipping, pushing and pulling the sled. On the assault bike, I like to get warm rather than like warm up specific muscles, or however you want to coin it. However, today I just couldn't. My calves were quite tight from yesterday. I felt like I had very little spring in my step. Couldn't skip. I didn't want to run. Whilst I'm still running a lot, I've consciously eased off it this week. So I was concerned. I just couldn't focus. I couldn't focus. And that usually spells disaster for the rest of my workout. But I found a way to get in the groove. And yeah, eventually it slapped. It was a good workout. A lot like yesterday. Like it felt good. It felt really, really good. I'm slowly honing in on focuses in the gym and goals, I guess you could say, which is something I haven't really spoken about much on this channel yet. And there will definitely, over the course of this channel, there will definitely be more and more discussion on the training itself and my ideas about the training itself. Right now, I'm trying to formulate my ideas. I'm trying to formulate my goals. I can't really formulate ideas without clear goals, because there's nothing to specifically work towards and break down. Thankfully, I've gained a little bit of clarity with regards to my martial arts training, MMA training, whatever you want to call it, and my grappling. And I've accepted the fact that, because I was torn. There was a small period about 6 months ago where I actually thought, well, yeah, why not try it, and why not have a load of amateur fights and like try and have a couple pro fights, but just because of the fun of it, you know what I mean? See if you can make a little bit of money as well, like why not? And then as soon as I started thinking like that, all of a sudden I stopped enjoying it, which communicated to me that like that's not what I want to do. And whilst I'm still going to have amateur fights, it's recreational for me. It's extremely important for my state of mind and for me to stay balanced and for me to prevent myself getting a bit like easily aggravated, because after a couple of weeks of no fighting, I can get a bit aggravated quite easily. So I've finally gained clarity in what it is to me for now. Of course that can change over time, but for now that's what it is to me. That's what it means to me. And that's brought a lot of calm surrounding it, especially now during World Cup time. I'm a huge sports fan, and live sports is unparalleled. And I'd be a liar if I said that I'm missing training in order to fucking watch a World Cup game. I don't give a fuck. This is once every 4 years. We only get a certain amount in our lifetime. And anyway, so it's nice to have that. So now I'm working on the clarity with regards to my training and what I want to achieve. I have an idea of like what muscles in particular that I'm weak in and want to develop, especially whilst I'm not squatting. Because the harsh reality is, in the back of my mind, a lot of what I'm doing now is somewhat geared towards eventually being in a place where I can squat every day, because I do love the squat and I want to have the option to squat every day if I want to squat every day, because I believe it's the ultimate stretch. Like squatting is a stretch at the end of the day. Like squatting shouldn't be a struggle. We should be able to just sit in an arse to grass squat with ease. Like I'm from Nigeria. I remember going there all the time as a kid, spending loads of time there, and kids we would just chill outside on the street, chilling and chatting and whatnot, and man them would just be fucking just cooling in a squat, arse to grass, like it ain't shit. it wasn't tough. It wasn't difficult. It was just the skeleton folded and sitting upon itself and balanced perfectly. That's what a squat should be. So the idea that you can't do a movement like that, which in my opinion is essentially just a stretch, well, in the whole it's just a stretch on a daily basis, is absurd to me. But I can't do it right now because it's not healthy for me, because I'm pretty confident that my pelvis is slightly off balance. One of my legs is longer than the other, which is causing my hip pain. So I need to fix that. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.